Namaskar. I'm Suruchi Das and you're watching Ritam News. Picture your life. You're a young girl eager to live, explore. But as days pass, you realize that your gender is your biggest hindrance, your biggest weakness. You're banned from receiving higher education. You're banned from getting jobs. You're banned from going outside without a male escort. You're banned from singing. You're banned from dancing. You're banned from uttering words. This is not some dystopian novel, but present-day Afghanistan. A squirrel has more rights than a girl in Afghanistan today because the public parks have been closed to women and girls by the Taliban. Renowned Hollywood actress Meryl Streep depicted the crisis in simple words at the UN General Assembly, calling Taliban's draconian restriction on women as a form of suffocation. A bird may sing in Kabul, but a girl may not, Meryl put forth.
Today, in Kabul, a female cat has more freedoms than a woman. A cat may go sit on her front stoop and feel the sun on her face. She may chase a squirrel into the park. A squirrel has more rights than a girl in Afghanistan today because the public parks have been closed to women and girls by the Taliban. A bird may sing in Kabul, but a girl may not, and a woman may not in public. This is extraordinary. This is a suppression of the natural law. This is odd.
It has been 3 years since Taliban took control of Afghanistan as women saw their rights and freedoms being snatched away. Recently, Taliban implemented a new set of vice and virtue laws, putting some heavier shackles on the lives of women. The rules entail that women will not leave their houses without fully covering themselves. Women will not sing or raise their voices in public.
I feel that the Taliban, since they've issued over 100 edicts in Afghanistan, stripping women and girls of their education and employment, their freedom of expression and movement, they have effectively incarcerated half their population.
Afghanistan is a blatant example of how easily women's rights are susceptible to be impacted, how they can be taken away in a blink of an eye. Afghanistan stands as a reference to what happens when a community is influenced by extremist, fundamentalist, and radical thought processes. Situation is not that sunny in some other nations as well. Take, for example, the 2022 protests engulfing the nation of Iran post the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini. It is a stark reminder what is the real picture behind the veil. The protest killed more than 500 people. At a time when women took hold of their hair and ran their scissors through, authorities analyzed and contemplated how a hijab should be worn so that you are not apprehended. While Iraq introduced a law enabling marriage of young girls as young as 9-year-olds. Reports suggested that Shia groups which dominate the system have been pushing for erosion of women's rights completely. Prior to the rise of Taliban, women of Afghanistan were protected under the law, had the right to vote, and by the 1960s, Afghan society vied for equal rights for women. But at present day, a research published in Pew Research reads, majority of Muslims say that a wife should always obey her husband. The same research also said that Muslim men are less likely to be supportive of equal rights for women, be it inheritance or the notion that women should be allowed to decide whether they want to wear their veil or not. Streep's comparison of Afghan girls to squirrels and birds is hardly rhetorical. It underscores the dire reality women face under Taliban rule. Her analogy highlights the absurdity and cruelty of the Taliban's restrictions on women. Despite the fact that Streep's voice is significant in amplifying the plight of Afghan women to an international audience, it is still not enough. Because the international community for the longest time has tried to solve this issue through discourse but have failed. It is high time that we hold the leaders of Afghanistan accountable for their crimes and ensure that their representatives are brought to the mainstream. The tolerant manner of patting on the back has to be sidelined and questions need to be asked.